Hello, everybody. This is Kenan Kel Superfan here on Instagram. This is going to be an absolutely amazing um, moment here for the fan page. I am honored and truly blessed to be joined by the legendary actor Ken Foree. Ken, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
This is truly amazing that this is happening, and without further ado, get right into it.
Sure.
How was the process to get on Kenan and Kel? How did you end up like getting on the show?
I was called to an audition at Universal. I think it was the Black Tower, which is a huge back monolith. I think it's still there in Universal. And I auditioned for about 30 people. Came up there in the room, and I had a good time, and that was it. Shook everyone's hand, all 30 of them, all 20 of them, how many there were, and I got the notice, I think, a few days later that I had the role.
That is amazing. You know, what were some of your best memories on the show? It ran for 4 seasons on television. What were some really good memories that you had while you were on the show?
Oh my goodness, there were many. We had such a ball doing it. It was it was funny. The boys were always hilarious. They were always doing something to of course upset me, and so I was constantly looking at what's coming next from these guys. And we had some great times. It would, every episode was a surprise, and some episodes you'd get the script in the morning, and I'm sorry, in the midweek, and then by Thursday you had a different script. He said, "Whoa, okay, what happened to that one?" So it's television for you. So it was great. It was a great time. Every day was a different experience. Every week was a different experience, of course. And working with those two very talented young men was a blessing, truly a blessing. They kept
So,
me.
sorry. Um, so, were there particular days like that you guys would shoot on, and like particular days for table reads?
Yes, we shot. We had table reads usually on a Monday, I believe. On a Monday, we'd have a table read. Then we would start to work on work on the set in terms of going to the set and working out what we're going to do and what we're going to be in our marks and how we want to work our scenes, that kind of thing. And we would do that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then on Thursday we would shoot for the cameras, and I think on Friday we would shoot for the live audience. So and that was every week. Great job. Love those jobs. Most actors do love those jobs. 5 days a week on set, and then the weekend free. So if you do a lot of television, and if you do any action adventure or crime shows, that kind of thing, you can do a lot of location work. And location work can go into a lot of hours. You can do 14 hours a day, every day. And some days you might have a Saturday where you might have to work, that kind of thing. So, that's probably the best job in Hollywood is a situation comedy where you just in 5 days a week and you go home to spend the weekends with your family. So,
That's great. Um, I know the first 2 seasons of Kenan and Kel were shot in Florida, and then I believe you guys moved to California for season 3. Seasons 1 and 2 had live crowds, if I am correct on that, and then season 3 was like more studio work.
we
Is
have
that
black crowds both. both venues. We were shooting in Orlando, and we had huge audiences because Nickelodeon was there, Nickelodeon headquarters. And then Nickelodeon had a studio on Sunset, specifically for that show and maybe some of the shows they were running. And we had our live audiences there as well every Friday. So we had live audiences both places. Yeah, and then, there's always, you know, I've learned that what I think happened and what actually happened can sometimes be different depending on who you're talking to. It's like two people standing on a corner and they both see an accident, and you ask them exactly the particulars of the accident, and they both have two different stories. I did a film years ago, and I died in the film, and they said I couldn't. They tested it in the market. I was told they tested it in the market in screenings, and the fans didn't like that I died. So I came back and had to reshoot somewhere I lived, and and then I heard from someone else that was very, very close to the film, which should know, a totally different story at a Q&A at a major event. And I had to turn and look and say, what? I didn't say the word, but I was in total shock because it's not what I heard. And it turned out that it was true what my assessment of it and what the information I got was accurate. But sometimes you never know. I mean, I'm saying that we shot in Sunset, California. May not be true. You never know. So better check me. I'm not always right.
It's totally fine. Working on Kenan and Kel, who were some really important people behind the scenes that really were influential in helping it become a global phenomenon as far as a television show?
Well, the writers, Heath Shivert, also one of the powerhouse producers and executives, Brian Robbins. I think he just was head of Nickelodeon recently, and now he's at Paramount, as head of Paramount. And so we had some very, there was some very, very talented and very experienced executives that were behind the show, and writers that were behind the show, and they continue to put out great stuff. Some of the guys are still with Nickelodeon, and some of the writers and some of the producers have moved on, but they've only moved up and moved on to other positions. So we have great people. Excuse me.
No, it's okay. I've seen Kenan and Kel, work on All That, the newer All That, being, I believe, producers for the show. Do you still keep in contact with anyone from the show?
I just text Kenan today. I speak to Kel, and I've seen him several times. So yeah, I keep in touch with them. I haven't seen Vanessa, and I haven't seen Teal in a long time. But I do see both Kenan and Kel. I've seen them recently.
That's really cool. It's really nice to know that.
Dan Fishman as well. Yeah, Dan Fishman. I see him occasionally. I've seen him as well.
That's really nice to know that you guys still keep in touch. Kenan and Kel, in my opinion, was very influential for helping what came down the line. What you guys did for shows to follow, and I think that the show really has stood its time, and a lot of people still love the show, and it's still talked about so many years later. So I think that really attests to all the amazing work that all of you did to make that show just incredible.
Yes, I hear that wherever I go, and they come up and say, "Oh, you're Kenan's dad. You Kenan." And they're usually in their 30s about now, because they were 7, 8, 9 years old at the time we shot, and they're about 30, 35 years old at this point. And I say, which is a surprise. And I ask them, how old are you? He said, I'm 35. I said, get out of here. Get away from me. You're making me look old. I meet so many of them, and they're so kind, and they're so happy to meet me, and I'm thrilled to meet them as well.
I mean, for me personally, I only started watching the show a year ago. I wasn't even alive when it was happening.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I just watched it a year ago because I got the series on DVD, most of them, and I just started watching a year ago. And I really just, fell right in love with it. And, you guys were shooting, seasons 1 through 3 before I was even born, and it's still a classic to me.
I want you to get out of here. That's great. I'm happy you're here. I'm happy you enjoyed our show, and that you're a new fan member and an avid fan, and that's great. Absolutely great.
And I talked to
somebody. To the other guys yet? Have you talked to Kel or Kenan? Or
yeah, I actually Kel. I sent him a question because he had the ask a question thing on Instagram. And I asked him, like, are you willing to check out my fan page? Not actually thinking that he would, reply to me. And then he went and took a video of one of my videos I put up, and he put it on his stories. And when I saw it, I damn near almost fainted because I couldn't believe it. And the same for when you followed me. I was like, is this really, like, is this Ken Foree? Like, is he really following my page? Like, I couldn't believe it.
Oh, he was great. Maybe Kenan to get to you, and Vanessa and Teal.
I've had Teal like a video and view some stories. Vanessa viewed a story, but Kenan is the one I've been trying to reach, but he's the only one.
He's busy. He's busy, so busy.
Oh yeah, very, very busy man.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. So proud of him. So happy that he's so busy, as well as Kel. Kel's busy doing what he does as well. He's very much into he's preaching now, and also he works, and he continues to work, but he's found a space in his heart for worshiping God, and he's very happy. So it's you can tell the change in his life. So it's a great thing to watch.
Absolutely. Because I read about a little bit of Kel's story and his struggles in the early 2000s, and his changing around was phenomenal with his new book, Blessed Mode, recently coming out.
Yes. It's difficult to be a child star and then go into an adult and keep the career going. It is very, very difficult, and most people who I know who are executives would like to advise most stage moms and stage dads not to do it, because it's so precarious and it does such a hard road to hoe. So, but he's done well. He's done well, and so is Kenan. So, and Vanessa, I think she went to law school. I'm not quite sure. I think she's doing well, and Teal is doing well. So I think they're good experiences. But sometimes if you can read about old shows, and not everybody. I think. Oh God, what was the name of that show with what you're talking about, Willis? That show, that was a few tragedies and that show. I don't know. Yeah, I'd have to think of the show because I don't think. It's long before your time. No, so there was a show. There have been shows where young actors who were in their preteens, and teenage, and they haven't fared well as they grown older and tried to stay in the business. It's been very difficult. So it's not easy. And God took my hats off to Kenan and to Kel getting through that terrible time and surviving it and prospering. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing. And you know, back to the show, really quickly, um, the thing that amazed me the most was that, the show made you guys really look like a real family. You all did a great job of just making it just so relatable to a lot of families out there. And some people like still get confused. They think like it's a real family, whatever, but it was just so good that it just felt like, a real family, watching it. And, you know, it's just been a cult classic.
Worth the Cosbys. Worth the Cosbys, that's for sure. We were a little twisted, but a little more pranky. But we certainly had our audience, and people did like to tune in every Saturday and every Friday, whenever they were. So I think we came on Fridays. I'm not quite sure, but I think it was Fridays.
The amazing thing to me personally is that the pilot episode came out on July 15th, 1996, and the last episode of Kenan and Kel, the Two Heads Are Better Than None movie, ended on July 15th, 2000. So there's exactly a 4-year time span from when the first episode, the pilot, came out to the last production, which was the Two Heads Are Better Than None movie. The same day.
Yes. We were contracted for 4 years, and that's exactly what they gave us.
I wanted to ask, did you get a chance to like take any like props from the set or any wardrobe or anything like that?
No. I never got a chance to do that. No, I didn't get a chance to do that. Any props? No, not really. They were all sight gags, and the guys were using them, and I never. No, I really didn't. I know that. I'm trying to think if there's anything that there was a few props I would have liked to have taken, but no. I mean, almost got my eye taken out by that monkey. So I'd like to take that monkey's head back. No, I'm just kidding. But
The monkey from season 3.
yes, God,
Wow.
crazy. Yeah, I was sitting at the on the couch, I think, and the monkey went, and I at the arm of the couch, and the monkey passed by with the trainer, and the little guy just took his hand and swiped and just missed my eye, taking it. And it was if he hadn't have taken my eye out, he would have certainly left a huge black eye, So,
Huh.
So, I remember that monkey very well. Where's that little critter? Keep him away from me. He's dangerous.
Are there any other like funny things that happen on set at all, or like any reoccurring things at all, like any pranks or anything?
There's always a prank. I mean, it was a story of pranks and getting in trouble and getting out of trouble and pranks. So that was always the storyline. But anything other than a monkey, I don't know. There were a few. There were a few. I think a couple of people went up online. I remember I got a relative of mine came down to visit, and with her daughter, and so I said, this cute little girl, and I said, okay. Then we were having the show we were shooting at that time had a little party for Vanessa, I think, on the set, the storyline. I think they had a lot of little girls around and that kind of thing. So I said, "You want to be an extra?" She said, "Oh yeah, yeah." And so she, she got she lined up and got in this, in a place and on a mark, and as soon as they said action, all the little girls had to climb around Vanessa and try to get in, and she couldn't get as close as she wanted. And you could see that she was not very nice, this kid. She could see on her face that she was a little disgruntled. And you're not supposed to be disgruntled on a kid's TV show like that. You're not supposed to show that, especially as an extra. And I never forget it. I said, I think I'll keep my invitations to myself from now on. 'Cause that was a hard lesson, or a good lesson. Don't offer anybody to be an extra or get a job. You don't know what they're gonna do.
Um, there were like some things when I would watch the show where I would be like, how did they do that? Like how did they pull that off? And one with you, was when Kenan shot like this like cantaloupe thing,
Mhm.
and it went through the door, and then like the audience, like it looks like it hit you in the head, like, and I thought to myself, how did they like make it look so real,
That's movie magic. Movie magic. You always have a props department and prop masters and special effects people, especially at Nickelodeon, who know exactly how to in any venue in Hollywood or any genre in Hollywood or in film, you're gonna have special effects and prop people that make you think that you're seeing something that you really can't understand why it's being done or how they're doing it. And I don't quite remember the scene you're talking about because it's been so long, but there were so many scenes that we had to you know had to jerry rig it in a way that something went through a wall or something went over the head or something exploded or something busted and it was all just just the expertise of the prop departments and the special effects people. They're always great, always great.
Yeah, they made it look so real at times. And the thing, like for me, I always like to know, dates and everything. The last, productions of Kenan and Kel came out in 2000, but if you remember, was it 1999, the last year that you guys started like were working on Kenan and Kel?
I think it was. I thought it was. I thought it was about 2000. You know, but it probably 1999. 99 sounds about right. I don't remember.
Okay.
So, yeah, it could have been. I thought it was 2000, and I've made that I've quoted that I have quoted that made that statement. So I guess people have quoted me. But it could have been 1999 going into 2000 when we shot our last episode, and when maybe we walked out of the studio or had the two heads were better than none. I think that was the last episode.
Yep.
I think we probably, uh, well, you can look up Milton Berle was still alive at that point. So I think that was 1999 to 2000, somewhere in there. I have no idea. I don't really know. I'll leave that up to you guys.
It's okay. I'm sorry. I just love knowing production, like when something was shot or whatever. That's just me personally.
Yeah, and the they have it documented somewhere, so they would know better than I would. I knew it was about that time because I had other things I had to do, and it was about 2000 that I was involved with those um, uh, other jobs, and so I know I wasn't doing Kenan Kel in the year 2000, so I know that. Yeah. So
Yeah. Um, you know, Kenan and Kel, like I said earlier, really inspired, I think, some of the shows that I grew up with. down the line, like Drake and Josh and stuff like that. It just everything just really just flowed well. And what would you say out of all the episodes? Would you say like you remember the most, or like was your favorite episode, if you could, if you remember?
Oh, Jesus. Uh, I think we went into a restaurant, an Italian restaurant or something. There was spaghetti everywhere or something. I forget what episode that was. I think we were also in I was camp, the camp counselor or something like that. I was a forest ranger or something like that. I think that was, well, the turkey episode has become quite popular. So Thanksgiving turkey episode. The the Christmas episode was also so there were quite a few. There were quite a few. I think all I get. I think Kel put something in my drink or something, or I drank something that Kel mixed, and I'm in my job as an air traffic controller or something. I get really.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. So that. Whatever I was doing. Yeah. There were a lot of them.
Just amazing memories. I want to thank you so much for your time with me, Ken. It truly means a lot to me that you took the time with me. And is there anything out there that people can look forward to seeing you in? Or
oh my goodness. Yeah, well, I still have two things streaming, and one's on Netflix called John Henry. I play. It's not for it's kind of a kind of a rough subject matter. It's a lot of killing and a lot of foul language and that kind of thing. So it's not quite for kids. But it's I play a wacky character, so it gives some laughs to the adults that are now 30. The Kenan Kel fans are now 35 can get some laughs. And then there's another one called The Rift. It's on Amazon, and they're both streaming. So there are two things that are out there. I'm also writing at this time, and I'll have a web page going up very soon, kenforee.com. It's not up yet, but it will be going up soon. And I'm writing a 6-hour limited series that I'm trying to push, and also a serial killer script. So I'm behind the camera right now. I'm going to be acting soon. 2 projects supposedly this summer. So I will be in front, and I'm behind the camera. I'm learning how difficult it is to be behind the camera as well, because they're very, very challenging. So I will be doing that, and those are some of the stuff that I'm involved in. Hopefully I'll be successful, and you'll see me in other venues and down the line.
So once again, thank you very much, Mr. Ken Foree. It has been an honor. Thank you very much for this time.
Here we go. Take care, guys.